everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing a long-awaited piece of Kamen Rider merch, a new Kamen Rider season, and some big developments in Zenkaiger. But before all that, Buster, how's your week been?
Nothing real outside of the Revice premiere. It's really just been a normal week.
That's interesting.
Actually, no, I actually am starting a new job, but I don't know if I'm starting it right now. It's in flux right now. So.
Nah, that's understandable. So not really anything super eventful happening over this holiday weekend for you.
Yeah, no, I'm just relaxing, just taking some time. Oh, I did make a Sonic Colors video, but that's all right. I should save that for the end of the show.
That's okay. Yeah, kind of the same thing here. Very, very normal work week, but very, very eventful weekend. I got to meet my nephew, and that was super awesome. And then we had All Out last night, which was just an insane wrestling pay-per-view. Tune into MMWP this week to hear thoughts on that. And then I've just been banging and clanging away at a new video, which is probably going to take another week or so. It's one of those things. It's a dark mistress. It's a little elusive and hard to fully nail down. So we'll get it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, while you're here, hey everybody, welcome to This Week in Toku. It is a production of Modular Media, the creative co-op the two of us are a part of. If you would like to support the show and you're listening on YouTube, please give us a like, comment with your thoughts on anything we discussed this week, subscribe, and ring the bell in order to enable notifications to get not just this show, but all of the Modular Media podcasts as they're released. We also have a link down in the video description if you want to follow this on a podcasting platform. And either way, you're really helping us out in the internet algorithm, so we appreciate it. And if you want to keep up with what we're doing in general, please follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media and join our subreddit r/Modular Media. But before we get into... Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, before we get into the news, Dino Fury is airing in France and pretty soon the UK, and we have no news on a US release, so that means leak season, at least for us dumb Americans, is in full force. If you don't want to be spoiled, or just if you really want new episodes, either way, just keep an eye out for that. Either avoid it or hug it and embrace it and hold it dearly.
You know, with the move to Netflix, I really thought we were done with this now.
Really? Like, they could... Like, Netflix even does a few weekly show airings, so I don't see why we can't get that with PR.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing and frustrating. We won't be talking about the episodes until they're available in the US on this show, but we will be keeping up with the leaks. So
yeah, it will be painful because I heard some like interesting stuff might happen, but other than that,
Well, there's one leak specifically going around right now, and I won't say any actual leaks, just in case anybody listening to this show wants to avoid spoilers until the US airings. But one leak that is going around that I can confirm is fake. If you've seen a screenshot of Lord Zed standing in the Dino Fury Forest by Dino Henge, that's fake. That's a photo of a cosplayer composited into a screen cap.
Yep. And it's like I was really worried that it was going to be real because that's like the last thing I want to see out of Dino Fury, but thank God it's not real. Well, the episode description stuff still has me excited.
Like, I'm normally pretty accepting of the nostalgic stuff as long as it's handled fairly well, but like bringing back Lord Zed after we redeemed him seasons upon seasons ago and have not heard from him since. And B, Robert Axelrod is fucking dead. That would have gotten me real mad.
Yeah, that would have been a kind of a yikes moment.
But no, that leak is fake. Yeah, let's get into the news. Let's get into some news. It's all merch week. It is all merch news this week, everybody.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't care about toys, maybe skip to the new releases. He says as if he time codes this show. So first up this week, we have a reveal to go, in fact, with the in conjunction with the fact that it is Kamen Rider Force's 10th anniversary, Bandai has announced that through P Bandai, they will finally be releasing a DX Nadeshiko. I think that's how you pronounce her. Nadeshiko?
Yeah.
Yeah, her driver. We're getting her driver as a toy, everybody.
Yeah, from the Megamax movie, and that's pretty swag.
I mean, like, here's how much of a Force scrub I am. I genuinely had no idea they hadn't made a toy for this yet.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I thought, like, oh, maybe, it's not really something they would, like, make a toy of immediately, as, like, especially in early Heisei, before everything got a toy in, like, later Heisei, so.
This is Neo Heisei. This is, like...
Well, early Neo Heisei, I'm talking.
Yeah. But still, it's cool to see Nadeshiko get her due, because she was one of the first really prominent female riders.
Even if she was movie only.
She was movie only, but then, like, in every Force thing where they brought back most of the cast, she also came back.
Yeah, like
she's in the Wizard movie. She's in one or two other crossovers. She's been in stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about in Forze's like main plot, which would also have its first crossover movie and summer movie. She only appears one, but that's not to diminish. Sorry, I'm being very negative, Nancy, and cynical, but I really shouldn't, because it's still a cool thing.
And it's as repaint drivers go, I think this is pretty cool. Like, I'd never taken a close look at most of the Force designs, so like I do like the shade of blue they used on this. I'll say that.
Yeah. And it will be available through Team Kamen Rider, because they have announced that they will be doing North American distribution for this item.
Hooray! So any of you Force fans out there, look forward to pre-ordering this hopefully soon. And the only other bit of Kamen Rider news we've got this week is, hey, y'all like listening to things? I assume you do, because you're listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
There's going to be Kamen Rider earbuds that I think are Japan exclusive.
They are. And
they don't look that cool.
Yeah, like, I thought at least color coordinated. Like, think of like a double AirPods where like one of them is green and the other's black.
Nah, they're like plain white, and they got these weird symbols on them that don't
just symbols of the riders.
No, the symbols on the earbuds themselves, I don't think those correspond to any rider. Like the most rider. What rider is it?
Talk about the. Oh no, it's the plain earpods, because you could put stickers on it and stuff.
Oh, so this is essentially just earpods with a sticker sheet.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It's by Aviat, and I don't know if anyone would be interested in it, but
talk about lazy. Yeah, the reason I put these in the topic list is just I wanted to put it out there that I really hope somebody, if anybody's interested in buying these things, because I am not, but if you're interested enough to buy one, maybe consider picking up a second set and sending it to Dankpods, because I'd love to see him take a look at these.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
No, Dankpods is a good YouTube channel that talks primarily about headphones and MP3 players. If people haven't checked him out yet from the numerous times Boingo Rider and I have talked about him.
Yeah.
Moving on to Sentai news, though, the Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger Shogoken Dark Sentai Gear set has been announced, which is basically an expansion set for the Dark Gear Tillinger, with a lot more of the Dark Gears that Stacy has been using in the show.
Yeah, this might be a hint to like what gears we can expect him to use in future episodes. I mean, we already see some gears he uses in this episode, so
because he's got Dark Gears for the full team, as well as what are their names? The Chibi Bros.
Yeah.
And a lot more Dark Sentai gears. And I gotta admit, they look pretty spiffy. I do like the purple and black as opposed to the gold and black of the regular Sentai gears.
Yeah, if it wasn't, is this Premium Bandai?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it's Premium Bandai web exclusive, yeah. So, good luck trying to get this. Resort to your local middleman.
And then finally, In Ultraman news, SH Figuarts has announced that they will be doing a figure of the King Joe Storage Custom to cap off their Ultraman Zet line and go along with Zet's crossover that began in Ultraman Trigger this week. And this thing looks immaculate. Like, I'm usually one of those very critical people when it comes to Figuarts, but like, something about the segmented robot suits just lend themselves to Figuarts really well.
Yeah, I saw they also did a Figuarts. What's the first robot's name?
Sevenger.
Sevenger. They did a Figuarts Sevenger. That looks fantastic. So
Yeah, there's actually in this article that we have linked down in the description of wherever you're listening to this, as well as all the other news stories, there's a picture of the Figuarts Sevenger and King Joe Storage Custom standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So super awesome that this is happening. It's a great way to end off the Ultraman Zet figures, at least for now, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
If I ever go down the hole of getting Ultraman figures, this is definitely one I'm low key interested in.
Yep.
But I think that's all the news that is fit to print. So Buster, why don't you take us on to new releases?
All right, starting off with the one show I dropped, Ultraman Trigger, New Generation Tiga, Episode 7, Inter-Universe. So, Vac, tell me about it.
So this is the big awaited Ultraman Zet crossover. It's part 1 of, I'm assuming, 2, because who was the Ultraman that Zet crossed over with? Okay, because the Geed crossover was 2 episodes, so I'm assuming this is going to be the same.
Yeah, I think it was in the preview, so...
And I gotta admit, I'm not feeling it, brah.
Ooh, I heard people are finally vibing with triggers.
It's just like as a guy who got really into Ultraman through Zet. I've seen a few shows before Zet, but Zet was the first show I watched current, and I got super into it. Something about Haruki's characterization just feels a little off here. Like there's a moment where Akito is fixing the Z-Riser, and then ultimately ends up making Haruki his own spark lens. Haruki and Kengo are talking and just comparing notes about their powers, and there's all these little moments where Kengo is asking questions about how to be an Ultraman, and Haruki's just like, I don't know, I just go with it. It's just, you go with the flow. And I'm like, Haruki was a much more spastic and questioning character, at least in early Zet, from what I remember. And maybe this is them trying to show like he's grown and gotten a little more mature, but it comes off as a bit of a disconnect to me.
No, that's valid. I think it's mostly just they want to show us grown, but it doesn't really he was even still like very energetic in the final arc. So yeah,
I did like the scene though where he takes Kengo and Akito into the pocket dimension, and they have a powwow with Zet himself, and they're like, "Wait, you don't talk to your Ultra?" And Zet's like, wait, he might be the actual Ultra. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Main Universe Ultramen know about this difference. That's interesting. Yeah. Aegis actually gets a lot to do this episode, because the reason Haruki ends up in the Heisei Ultraman universe, I guess, is there in the beginning of the episode, Haruki as Ultraman and Yoko in Sevenger are chasing Baruasa, who has stolen the King Joe Storage Custom, and they accidentally end up getting slapped into a portal into an alternate universe, but Yoko stays behind because I guess we couldn't pay to have the actress come back in person. She just did a little voiceover. Yeah. And then after Baruasa gets away, he's looking for his the food he eats to grow big, and he ends up running into Aegis, and they have like this big argument of like the difference between a pirate and a treasure hunter, and they're like comparing things they've stolen from around the universe to each other. It's really hilarious. Yeah. It is very funny. Ultimately, I think this episode is pretty good. My biggest complaint is just it's another episode where and like I probably should have expected this because of the extra characters coming in this episode, but we do kind of shove the supporting cast to the back again. So not a whole lot of time with them getting to interact with the new people, and also it's a little weird that we actually see the two Ultramans talking to each other during the fight scene at the end. Like that threw me just because we don't do that super often in mainline Earth stuff. But ultimately, this episode was okay. It just wasn't as hype as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. Again, like I think he comes back. He comes back for one more romp next episode. So who knows?
Yeah, he's still in the trigger dimension at the end of the episode. Like the big question right now is, all right, we've beaten the bad guy and we've fixed your transformation device or gotten you a new one, rather. How the fuck are we gonna get King Joe off of our Earth? Because it's broken.
Yeah. I guess that's like I guess you don't watch the previews.
Not with Ultraman. I usually skip out, especially because I don't dig Trigger's ending.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but yeah, it sounds like I've been hearing mixed reports on it. Some people are loving it. Some people like you are just thinking it's okay. So nice to hear your perspective. Again, I'll probably wait a couple more episodes before catching up.
Fair enough.
But now for the new boy.
New boy?
Yeah, or new boys. Kamen Rider Revice, Episode 1. Family, Contracts, Whisperings of the Devil. Well, you start us off again.
I really enjoyed this premiere. This took me back to the start of shows like Drive and Gaim, and really just the prime of me first getting into Rider and Tokusatsu in general. Like, this had a really fun, kind of frantic energy to it that's just constantly fitting more shit in and getting as much information at you right away as possible so that we can start going into selling new toys every week.
I actually thought this was more of a lax premiere. In fact, when I first watched it, I wasn't really digging it as much because I felt like compared to like the other ones, there aren't as really like hype moments that like. And maybe this is just because I just prefer watching Rider in bingeable chunks. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I really enjoyed that first fight scene with.
Oh, yeah, that first fight was great. It's just I'm talking the character. Like I feel like I don't know.
What specifically were you not digging as far as characters?
No, I don't know. I just felt like it felt a little. We still got the whole show ahead of us, but just like someone just didn't click as much. I really like Iki. Iki's great.
Yeah,
Vice,
he's a good boy.
I thought like because they have the actual Rider, Vice would be better. He is, but he's not good. If that makes sense. I don't think I like Vice.
I mean, he's the essence of like a kid appeal character to me. Whereas like there's moments with him I dug, like that first fourth wall break where they turn the camera and it turns out he's talking to the monsters.
Oh,
but then they do a fourth wall break again, and he's literally just talking to the audience. And I'm like, that's not as good. You can't do both of those. You have to stick with one.
Yeah, I just
also.
Yeah,
he is just like no. I'm putting the voice actor shit to the side because we've said everything there is to say about that guy. But like, the character is just constantly yelling during that first fight scene, and like it's tolerable through most of the episode because like it's a good bounce off between him and the other characters. But then when he gets let loose and he's just as he said, he's running wild. It's a bit much, and I hope they tone it back in future episodes. Not like to where he doesn't talk at all, but to where it's. I want an even balance between him and Revy.
Yeah, I think like I felt like Vice would be a bit like I mentioned this on Twitter. I felt like he would have benefit from taking more notes from Ankh than Momotaro's.
Yeah,
Ankh was a bit more like snarky, and like Momotaro's was more wacky, and Ankh was more like devious, especially in the beginning. I really felt like they should have like took more notes from O's rather than Den-O.
But did Ankh sell a bajillion toys and come back for like 15,000 movies?
Kinda. Because he came back for Heisei Final, but that's besides the point. And technically,
that was after like a long break. We forget as a fandom, especially people like you and me who came in towards the tail end of it. But like Momotaros came back for like 2 movies a year, every year after Den-O for a long time.
Yeah, good point. But I just like I even still think you can make that a marketable character without having to just make him annoying. Or not. He wasn't really even annoying. He just felt like white noise. Like,
Yeah, I definitely agree there.
yeah, I just felt like okay, you're not funny, but you're not annoying me. I just feel like so mid towards that character. Everything else was great though. I really like George. He gives me a mix of Waz mixed with like kind of a Travis touchdown kind of character for like those who don't play No More Heroes.
You know
He's
what
kind of like
he's fucking Waz if Waz had Ryoma's job.
oh wait who is oh yeah definitely yeah Ryoma from Gaim yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
I liked George a lot too, and it does bear mentioning that apparently there was a change from the initial announcement to the actual production of the series. This is not in a world where Kamen Rider is a TV show. This is in Kamen Rider's Zenkaiger world, where just everything happened because it all happened. Shut up! It doesn't matter that a lot of it conflicts with each other.
Geo.
Yeah.
Oh well, but no, wait, everyone got split apart in Geo. I don't care anymore.
Well, this takes place before Geo.
Oh really?
No, I'm just joking. Because
Okay,
that would make absolutely no sense.
I was like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, but I don't think this was the best. Like, to me, I felt like all the other premieres I've watched, from like XA to Saber, they've had like more like hype moments or a moment that made me laugh, or like a moment that got me really excited to watch the next one. This really didn't. Like, I just hope episode 2 like improves on it. I get it, like it's a new writer, but like even so, like Build had a new writer and that had like an action-packed first episode, but then again this is more lax than Build.
Mhm. And I mean, like, it's clearly just a difference in taste here, because like I'm one of the people who's of the opinion that Build's first episode was too action packed and didn't give us enough of the characters.
Oh, I
Like,
thought it balanced both great, but
like one of my favorite things about this episode in particular is just how much time we get with the actual family. I love Iki's family. They feel very like they still have that veneer of Japanese kid show about them, but they feel very real and wholesome compared to a lot of other Japanese families I've seen in media.
yeah, they have like this like very like I really like the scene where like they're at like the graduation of like or like the promotion of the Phoenix fellas
Mhm.
or the announce I don't know what they did. But like they're out there and then Iki and the guys are just like yeah they have this like giant flag that was cute.
And the hospital scene is great. The hospital and the dinner scene, I think, are two of my favorite scenes in the episode. If I'm not going to pick the fight scene, because like it's this perfect, almost Fantastic Four-esque family dynamic of yo, we fucking hate each other, but we fucking love each other too.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
Also, we did talk about the villains yet.
They seem cool. That's all. I have the same opinion on them as I did after the press conference. I'm like, they're interesting.
Yeah. I really like the guy in the green suit. Like I like not even just because he has a green suit, but because he has this like I don't know, just from the few seconds we get of him, he has this kind of like bruiser presence. I know he's gonna die in like the first arc, but like I like him so far.
It is kind of
Hopefully
fun how the lady is very much like a classic Sentai villain, where she's trying to revive her freaking husband.
yeah. I'm
Or
not sure
not
if
even her husband. She's trying to revive this ancient monster so that she can marry. Oh my god, she's
This is the
fucking
plot of
detoxed.
yeah, I was just about to say this is the plot of Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
not
god.
sure how I feel about like making another female character like because we just got off Saber and we had the female characters like basically saying brother brother for the second half of that show. This is better because it's not as weird, but like I don't know. I'm like kind of tired of Toei like Kamen Rider female characters always relying on. I don't know. Maybe I just
Like
again. You could still do a good.
I didn't watch all of Saber, but what I did see of that character was a bit annoying. But like you take that, and then you also have characters in this franchise like Medic, or to go over to Sentai, freaking Greta is a character that started off in a very similar place to this, and then became one of the coolest parts of Tokyo.
Okay, good point. She could probably grow. I just we'll see. Also, I'm very curious that we haven't seen her monster form yet, both in the promos and this episode. So is she gonna become a Kamen Rider? I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. That'll be interesting. I do like how that one dude just tried to transform and got turned into a monster for his efforts.
No, the cool thing is, like, they don't turn people into monsters. They form contract with monsters within people.
Oh, I saw. I must have not been paying super close attention because for some reason I thought with him specifically, the contract went around him and turned him into a monster.
Oh no, it's just like the contract squirrels up, like it crumbles up, and that's how the monster forms.
Because I saw that with Suzuki. Freaking Mamoru Suzuki is in this episode of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, after being he wasn't all out, right?
Well, he was on this, and this was probably filmed like a month ago. But and then last night, as of us recording this, it's 2 nights ago when you're listening to this. He was on AEW's All Out pay-per-view, and he's going to be wrestling Jon Moxley on Wednesday on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
So big week for him, and it's good because he's a freaking veteran of Japanese wrestling, and he's one of the cooler Japanese bad guy wrestlers.
Yeah, I kind of wish they did a bit more of him, but then again, with kind of the like Revice's concept, you can't really do much because it's not really like a people turn into a monster, and they gotta like say okay, like kind of confront something within themselves. Although they can still do that later on.
This isn't like Drive or X-Aid, where we got to freaking figure out what the person of the week has going on.
Yeah, maybe we will if if the monster. No, actually, I just realized no because each stamp has a specific monster thing. Whatever. The more I think about it, the more I kind of like the episode. I probably still give it like a 7 out of 10 overall.
Yeah, I'd probably go about there, maybe an 8 for me.
I hope it gets better. Like I just feel like I kind of want to be like it's the 50th anniversary. I want to be super excited for Kamen Rider, and
how about that freaking Marvel Studios logo?
Oh yeah, that was pretty cute. Also, theme song thoughts.
I love it. I know there's a lot of people who just aren't gonna like it because of Saburo's involvement, but he's like barely in there, and Ice did a amazing job of crafting a really unique sounding theme for a Kamen Rider show.
Yeah, very sinister. I will say, if
I said this to you off mic, I really feel like it's the theme and the overall tone Kamen Rider Ghost should have had.
Yeah, but that's bigger fish to fry for another day.
But
yeah, like Ice's parts are great. Subaru's parts are a bit like I like when he says "whoa, Revice." But I kind of like I did an edit where I took out all of his parts from the song. You can find it on my Twitter
and it
page.
Doesn't change much.
Yeah, I like outside like really you get like my poor like phone editing like popping, but that's what you expect.
Yeah. No, overall, I thought this was a very strong premiere that hopefully will lead to a great series.
Yeah. I'll probably stick with it. I'm not gonna drop it immediately. It doesn't really seem like something I would drop right away.
Welcome to the Tokusatsu podcast, where only one of the people watches the shows.
Dang. I won't drop it, I swear, because Kamen Rider is like it's my favorite of the Tokus, to be honest. Anyway, that's for we can delve into why for another day, but for now, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, episode 26, the Cyborg Prince and the Dark Surgeon and the time Zenkaiger got out of its mid-slump.
Zenkaiger's picking up again, boys!
Yeah, it's finally... This episode was like, I needed this. Like, after I was feeling a bit amateur about Revice's premiere and I dropped Trigger, I needed something to make me go like, yeah, Toku is awesome.
It really felt like they went, oh shit, it's the second half? It's the second half. Put some fucking gas in the tank, boy!
Yeah. Like it feels like we have those like classic mid-season, like not retools, but mid-season like pickups. Because like Stacy has was it an upgrade? Just like maybe a power? I don't know.
They call it an upgrade, but basically it's he's got 2 scarves now. He's got a missile launcher on his wrist, and he's got a shield.
Yeah, you got additions, shall we say.
Mhm. And he can also summon Dark Megazords now, which, by the way, was so cool looking. Like, I was just like, oh, black repaint, whatever, when I saw the picture. And then seeing it in the episode with all that smoke coming off it, I was like, oh.
I love the like dark remix of the combining theme. That was really cool. Yeah, really good. It gives Kaito. It feels like a stronger like Kaito development than what we got with his final like quote unquote final thing in like episode 24 with like because it actually like progresses it instead of just kind of touching on beats we already know while still giving us that Juran moment that like or a Juran moment just showing how the two of them are bros and stuff.
Yeah, this is really a do-over for episode 24.
Yeah, because it hits a lot of the same beats, but much more like interesting and well developed. And even like we get some plot kind of like plot exists because now Kaito's mom is like somewhere in the remaining multiverse.
Over under, you think she's gonna join the main cast by the end of next episode?
That would be cool. I doubt it.
Okay.
I want that to happen, but I'm not sure if it will.
Because the plot of the next episode, which got me so hype watching that episode preview, is now they're going to be hopping through all the worlds that they freed, trying to find Kaito's mom because she escaped Ijirude, and I'm like, oh, I'm willing to put down money, not a lot of money, but money. That next episode is going to be like, all right, we got mom. Now let's spend the rest of the show trying to get dad.
Yeah. I hope that's what happens. That would be pretty cool. Especially, like seeing like, maybe we can get some more developments for Yachan, like with like the mom back. She did a great job in this episode and like the past episodes as well. So I'm not just saying she needs him, just saying it would be nice.
Yeah, I love how they I love that scene where they're like, ah shit, we got really banged up in that fight. Oh, what monster were you fighting?
Yeah, because like Stacy, like and Satoshi, that whole plot point.
Mm-hmm. And then when Kaito finds his resolve and is like, yo, you gotta come back to the snack shop someday. I'm gonna beat sense into you.
Yeah. I love when he the suit actor put water on his face. Lots of good water use of the water location episode.
Mm-hmm. And just
also, man, technical thing. I love when they defeated the two and then they finished the roll call with the explosion behind it.
Yeah,
that was great.
The acting in this episode was just top notch too, because like Kaito's actor freaking out at the end, running around trying to find his mom was like, that was good heartstring pulling stuff.
Yeah, it gets you like that gets you like edge of your seat. Like I gotta have the next episode in my hands, which I think that's like the best compliment I can give a weekly show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so even with Kamen Rider premiering, I feel like Zenkaiger really took the week for the first time in a while.
Yeah, well, it probably helps that High School Heroes is we didn't cover that episode because it's not subbed yet. So
yeah, High School Heroes is currently 2 episodes behind in subbing, but we'll cover it as it catches up because we're willing to wait. It's one person subbing it, and they got their own shit going on. So
yeah, it's not like a team. It's really what? Why didn't TV Nihon pick it up? Oh, whatever.
I feel like they're going to swing back around to it. Once they're done with the porn Metal Hero, they'll swing back around to it.
Yeah, we're not covering Dino Vader.
That's why I watched like 2 minutes of the first episode, and it's just the same shit.
Yeah, there's your Dino Vader. Speaking of reviews, I got some toys.
Hey, old stuff and toys. Let's talk about it.
All right, so I saw on Amazon that they're selling Void Knight and Gold Ranger, which basically is Dino Fury Basic Wave 2. And I decided to pick them up. And I've had them for a good week now, I think. Maybe less than a week, but whatever. I've had them for a good while now. And we'll start with Void Knight, because that's the one I've been displaying on my desk, because I really like Void Knight and the suit. This is probably the best basic line Dino Fury figure. Very accurate to the toy. It comes with a unpainted, but it's still there and very accurate, even if it's unpainted. Ryusou Ken, or the Dino Chroma Saber. Really weird that like out of all the figures, like Void Knight gets the Chroma Saber. Also he comes with a very accurate and detailed shield. He's just generally well painted.
I didn't expect them to paint the shield.
Yeah. his articulation is very good. Unlike Blaze from Beast Morpher's basic line, he actually has full Ranger articulation.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so you could do like as much. So he's basically a Ranger. With in terms of articulation. Yeah, probably the best figure they've done. Gold is a little rougher, but still good. There's kind of like like maybe just probably just because of painting, but like there's kind of a butterscotch edge to it, but it still looks good. However, both his dagger and his gun are both unpainted, and it's very distracting, especially compared to the other person's weapons, like the other Dino Fury Ranger's weapons.
I hate it when they do that with basic weapons, because like it's not like I need every little detail on there, but just give me an extra little shade of something.
Yeah, especially they're all gold, but like that's really it. Also, it was also kind of like weird because they painted all the Beast Morphers accessories, so I don't know why they're skipping on paint now. I guess because Beast Morphers was their first one, so they had more R&D time. Whatever. The major sticking point for me in terms of flaws is the wrist. Now, Dino Fury Gold or Ryuso Gold does not transform with the basic Morpher. Yet, on the wrist, we have a basic Morpher on the Ranger.
So they just reused that part then?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe it's like a mold thing, like part of the mold.
It's probably just it was cheaper and easier to get the figure out to use that that same part again rather than making a whole new sculpt.
Yeah. But overall, still has the same pretty decent Ranger articulation. Really like the blue and gold colors. The helmet is really good. I really like the helmet. I'm not sure how I feel about I'm not sure if this is part of the suit, but there's instead of like a silver outline of the Thunderbolt, there's just a gold outline, and it looks a tad weird. But that's it's still presentable and decent. But yeah, gold was probably the weakest one I've had so far. But Void Knight was probably the best one we've had so far. But they're still both like 7 out of 10 figures, I'd say. No, not both. Like at least, but at minimum 7 out of 10. Void Knight is like 10 out of 10.
All right.
But yeah, that's all I got. This actually is a nice segue. If for everyone who's going to be tuning into the Dino Fury leaks, yours truly included.
Okay. Well.
I'll probably be back with my Dino Fury toy reviews when Green and Black come to basic line instead of just an Amazon exclusive.
Fingers crossed, dude.
Yeah, maybe I'll get the Megazord in the meantime.
Seems like everybody got the Megazord this week except us.
Yeah, well, that's because they're using Amazon. I used Amazon for the figures, but I was just really desperate.
But they pre-ordered it through Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this week. That's everything on our topic list. So, Buster, why don't you let the good folks know who you are and where they can find your stuff?
Hey, I'm Buster Corp. I do analysis, video essays, whatever you call my stupid things. I recently released a video on Sonic Colors Ultimate, and that's doing pretty well. And, you can help it do even better by checking out my channel and subscribe to the Buster Corp channel. I'm not sure what I'm doing next, to be honest. I think I got some ideas, but I think I'm waiting on stuff.
You had to take a rest.
Yeah, I kind of took a temporary rest, but then Sonic Colors happened, and I'm like, well.
But then Sonic Colors happened. Yeah. The plot twist of the century.
Yeah, Colors Ultimate. But yeah, that's besides the point. But yeah, just check out my stuff, please. I want to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year.
Yeah. And I am the Vacuuminator. I'm a YouTuber who has made many different things all across the internet. Reviews, blogs, analysis, you name it. I've stuck my finger in that pie. If you want to check it out, it is at youtube.com/thevacuuminator, which is spelled THEVACUUMINATOR. I do have a new video in the oven. I wanted to have it out for the holiday weekend, but unfortunately, it just proved to be a bit of a tough nut to crack, so it'll probably be a next weekend or later in that week. So definitely go and subscribe and keep an eye out for that, especially if you're a listener of this podcast, because it will be tokusatsu related. I can say that. But in the meantime, you can also keep up with me by following me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator and checking out my action figure photography at _Vacuuminator on Twitter. And folks, that is going to do it for this week in Tokusatsu. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you will join us back again next week to find out whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.